What's going on, Broncos fans? We got some breaking news to get to. Outside of a bar right now, I am out watching Tennessee get their ass blasted by Pitt. But Josey Jewell is unlikely to play against the Seahawks this Monday night. Mike Kliss reporting. So this is not an injury we saw coming. He dealt with a calf strain, report said, during practice earlier this week. And that has ultimately been upgraded to he is now unlikely to play against the Seahawks, which is concerning because first it was Jonas Griffith, and this linebacker room I've been very shaky about. I know there's a lot of confidence from inside the halls of the Broncos, but coming from outside, it's not a very proven room outside of Josey Jewell, and this is concerning for me personally. I don't want to overreact to this because it looks like Josey Jewell is going to be coming back for Monday night, coming off that dislocated left elbow from week 1 of the preseason. But losing Jewell is tough. Now it's going to be most likely Alex Singleton starting in place of Josey Jewell. So we better pray and hope that Griffith is ready to go, because I don't think that's a shoo-in at this point. But if it's not, it's going to be Alex Singleton and Justin Stranad, and I'm guessing the Broncos are going to bring some guys up from the practice squad to fill a roster spot, right? Make someone inactive and make some moves around so they can help out this interior linebacker room, because it's pretty thin. It's been relatively thin all preseason long. It was sort of always one injury away, and unfortunately we know how well that went last year inside linebacker, away from being a problem. And Jewell going down with a calf injury, that's not good, right? That's not what you want to see right there. So hopefully he's ready to go by week 2. Can't make any guarantees, can't make any promises, but that's the news we got here today. We're going to break this down in a little bit more detail, but college football's going on. I'm out here right now watching Tennessee, like I said, 6-point favorites against Pitt. Quick sidebar here. Very upset to see this start from them, but let me know what game you're watching, right? Which college football game are you watching this Saturday? A lot of good games out there. Texas, unfortunately, they got robbed. They should have beat Alabama. But let me know what game you guys are watching down below. All right, let's talk about this injury news a little bit more, and also some other quick injury notes and roundup stuff to get to here. So KJ Hamler, he, in my opinion, is my prediction rather, I think he'll play Monday against Seattle. I think he'll be limited, and he'll be on a pitch count, right? I think we'll see him 10 to 15 snaps, okay? And then you've got Randy Gregory, who I think is going to be limited, right? I think it'll be a higher pitch count than KJ Hamler. I'm expecting, or kind of guessing or predicting, half a defensive snaps, right? He's coming off knee and shoulder surgery, so about 50% of the snaps if I had to guess. And moving along here, offensive line, Billy Turner, I don't think he'll be ready. I think it's going to be Calvin Anderson, and I think the Broncos are fine with that. I think if this was the Super Bowl, Billy Turner would be playing. But I think they have been comfortable with what they've seen so far out of Anderson throughout the preseason. He didn't look like someone who is not going to lose the job. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like he rose to the occasion in the preseason and it was now his job to lose. No, it looks like he's just filling in and doing his job as a backup. But I'm guessing Billy Turner is probably unlikely to go. So those are some of the big injury news and notes here. Like I said off the top, Josey Jewell out, unlikely according to Mike Kliss to play against the Seahawks with this calf injury. It's a real bummer to see, because Jewell, like we know, last season had his 2021 campaign cut short, and the Broncos signed him, brought him back, 2-year, $11 million contract, and George Paton could only fill and check so many boxes this past offseason. And 2 boxes that were checked but with a pencil and not a pen was inside linebacker and that right tackle position. No long-term plan or solution was made there. And that's okay. You can't fill every single void in one offseason. So Jewell, unfortunately, you just hate to see that for him after suffering a pec injury last season that cut his season short. To have him go down before even the first game with a calf injury, I hope it's not serious. Now, maybe by the time you're watching this, there's been... we scored a touchdown? Let's fucking go. Tennessee scored. We're back, guys. We're back. So hopefully... by the time you're watching this, there might be an update on Josey Jewell. He might go to short-term IR. I don't say that because I know the severity of the injury. I'm saying that is a move that Peyton might make to open up a roster spot and bring on an additional inside linebacker. So keep that in mind if you're watching this later. Maybe it's already happened, right? Which is where he would have to miss the first 4 weeks of the season, but the Broncos can go out and maybe sign someone like Blake Martinez, who the Giants released earlier this week or last week. We know Peyton was somewhat interested in going down that veteran route. He brought in Joe Schober from free agency. He was with the Steelers last year and the Jags and the Browns before that, but he looked really washed, unfortunately, in his first and only preseason game with the Broncos. So might Blake Martinez look pretty sexy and appealing right now? I don't know, Jim. Well, we're missing a lot of stuff right now. Okay, Texas A&M score a touchdown. They're such a cult. I don't like A&M. But yeah, so might we see Blake Martinez be coming to the fold now and go, all right, this linebacker room between a dislocated elbow from one of our starting inside linebackers and a calf strain from the other one, or calf whatever. I don't want to call it a strain because I don't know. I'm not Josey Jewell. But this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and Peyton goes, all right, you know what? We got to bring someone in who is proven. He's not a long-term answer, but he can help us bridge some time. Because thinking about this week 1 matchup, what are the Seahawks going to do? They're not going to put the ball in Geno Smith's hands for 30 to 40 throws, right? They are going to want to run the football. Rashad Penny, their former first-round pick, they finally saw him actually look like a first-round pick the last quarter of the 2021 season. I am suspecting that they will enter this season, Pete Carroll, run the football, give that rock to Penny, and hope that he can pick up where he left off and not trust Geno Smith to be someone. Okay, so that is the injury news on that front there. Josey Jewell unlikely to play, like we said. Hey, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, give me a Let's Ride Broncos country. It's game day. I mean, it's college football game day, but it's almost NFL game day. Bills, Rams was awesome, and Sunday's going to be great, and Monday's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for real football, not preseason football. I have always been a proponent of preseason football does not count because you don't get to see the starters play, right? It's just not the same thing right there. All right, everyone, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to go back inside and watch, hopefully, an awesome Tennessee comeback. Although, I think they scored while I was walking out here talking to you with you guys. So, 10-7, I think, right now. Anywho, let me know which game you guys are watching. And Broncos country, let's ride.